Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are enjoying all the videos. I am back with another problem from Leetcode today, ambiguous coordinates. We had some two-dimensional coordinates like 1, 3 or 2.5. Then we removed all the commas, decimal points and spaces and ended up with a string S. Return a list of strings representing all possibilities for what our original coordinates could have been. Our original representation never had extraneous zeros, so we never started our numbers like 0, 0, 0.0, 0.00, 1.0. So basically there are not numbers starting or ending with 0. Ending with means ending with only after the decimal point. So 0.00 was never the case like that. So 00.01, that is also never the case. So or any number that can be represented with less digits. So for example 1.50 could be represented as 1.5, right? So like that. So there is nothing of 1.50 in their original list. It was only 1.5 like that. Also a decimal point within a number never occurs without at least one digit occurring before it. So we never started with numbers like 0.1. So when there is a number like 1, right, that means it was never a 0.1. But if there is a number like 0, 1, that is most likely a 0.1. So things like that, right? So the final answer list can be written in any order. Also note that all coordinates in the final answer have exactly one space between them occurring after the comma. So basically, if we go look at the example, right, for this is the given thing. So input is 1, 2, 3 within the brackets, right? So since we are returning the coordinates, so 1, 2, 3, we could divide 1, 2, 3 at several places. It could be 1, 23 or it could be 12, 3. So those are first divisions. But within 1, 23 and 12, 3, there is another possibility, right? It could be 1, 23, 1, 2.3. Because as per the definition of the problem, they have replaced even the decimal points. So one option is 1, 23 or 1, 2.3. So those two options are done. We cannot say take 0.1, 23, right? As per the definition, there are no numbers of 0.1, right? Similar to 0.1 basically. So there is no 0.23 also in that case, right? Like that. So that is, those are two pairs. And if we divide this number into 12, 3, right? So 1.23 or 12, 3. So for this number 1, 2, 3 within the brackets, there are 4 possibilities. So those 4 possibilities are given like here: 123, 12, 3. So this is the first division. And 123, what you can do? 2.3 you can have, that is here. And 12.3, 12 you can have 1.23. That is what it is. But this is a plain example, right? For example, if there are zeros in it, right? These are starting zeros. As per the definition, they never had 00.001, right? So the only possibility for this number to be here is 0.001 and 1. So there is nothing like two zeros, 0.01 and 1. That is what per the definition. And then you take this 0 into first coordinate, the other coordinate will become 0.00, 0.011. So those are the two possibilities. So let's go look at how we are going to solve this, right? So first thing is, we need to split the given string into two parts such that each part has at least one character, excluding the brackets, right? So because brackets will be there for every coordinate that we are going to represent at the end. So don't consider brackets with all the lengths that we are talking for the description, right? So 1, 2, 3 could be divided into 1, 2, 3, 12, 3. So that those are two divisions for that, right? We are going to look at the example anyway. So for each part, there are several cases that are looked at, right? With all the general possible coordinates, right? Strings starting with 0. right? If at all the string is starting with 0, right? If it doesn't end with a 0, we put a decimal point right after the 0, right? So for example, this is a string, right? If it is, so this string, right, this is starting with 0, right? So this we are dividing it to 0 0 1 comma 1. Let's say this is the division, for example, right? Then this is starting with 0, but it is not ending with 0. So what it says is, we put a decimal point right after the 0. That means the first coordinate will become 0.001. So that is the first case. If it is ending with 0, right, and if it doesn't start with 0, then we just take the number as it is. So that is another one. A string with both starting and ending 0. If a string is starting with 0 and ending with 0, that means as per the definition there are no numbers of the sort, right? So we just discard that number and we don't do any processing. If the string length is 1, obviously if the string length is 1, there is no need to put any decimal points or whatsoever, just take that number as it is. If the string length is greater than 1 and the converted integer is equal to 0, for example there are 2 zeros. If we say the above number we divided like 0 0 0 1 1, right? If this is the coordinate, right? So the string length here is greater than 0, but if you convert this to an integer, it will be just 0, then discard this number. So that means there is never of that case like that, 0 0 1 0 0 0. So there are no cases like that. So once the coordinates are generated for both parts, we will use the cross product logic to come up with a final list of coordinates. Let's go look at this example, right? The 1 2 3 examples, how we are going to go through the above steps. So part 1 we divided as 1, part 2 is 2 3. So 1 2 3. So the coordinates for 1 will be, since it is a single number, right? If the string length is 1, just take that number. That's what we are taking. That's it, right? And the coordinates 2 3 and 2.3. So when the length is greater than 1, and if it is not, so if it is greater than 1 and converted number is 0, then discard. But in this case the converted number is not 0 and it is 23. So in this case we are going to apply a special algorithm which we are going to look in the code, right? So for example, for now let's assume it is generating the numbers 23 and 2.3, right? So this for the part 1 1, for the part 2 2 3. So the coordinates generated are 1 2 3 and 2.3. So we take the cross product. So that cross product is for everything in coordinates here, you attach the coordinates from here. So there is only 1 here, right? 1 2 3 1 2.3. So this is the cross product for this part division. And then there is another division possible for 1 2 3, right? That is 12 and 3 here, right? So since it is 12, 1.1 1 12. For 3, since it is a single number, we just take as it is. The cross product is 12 3 and 1.23. And we need to merge these two cross products, right, for the final answer. That is the final answer. So this is how we are going to look at the solve the problem. So let's go look at the code, how we are going to solve this. It's exactly the steps that we described, right? So we get the length of the given string and we try to divide the string into two parts, substring 1 and substring 2. So we take starting from the first character, because we have to omit the 0th character. Why 0th character is omitted? Because it is a bracket and we go only until n minus 2 basically, because n minus 1 is bracket again, right, closing bracket. So we go until n minus 2. So likewise we are going to get the two substrings, substring 1, substring 2, and for each substring we try to go generate the coordinates, and we'll have coordinates for first substring and coordinate for the second substring, as long as both are not null, right? If we are generating coordinates for first substring and second substring, if both are not null, then we will have to do the cross product. The cross product is for every string in coordinate 1 and for every string in coordinate 2, we are going to have a formatted coordinates added to the answer list, right? So that is what we are going to return. So let's go look at the generate coordinates part, right? So that is what the meat of this code, this algorithm, right? So here we are go for a given string. That means this is just a part, the first part or the second part that are passed to the generate coordinates, right? So for the first part or second part, if we can parse the integer, right? If we can parse the integer, then only we are going to look at what is going to happen. We already know that we are able to parse it, right? If the string dot length is greater than 1 and I is equal to 0, that means we are not going to have any numbers. String length is greater than 1, that means it could be 0, 0, 0, 0, 5 zeros, but the final generated number is just 0. That means there is nothing to be added. We just return the empty thing, right? And if s dot length is equal to 1, that means we just add that number to the result array. If it doesn't start with 0 and ends with 0, then we are just going to add the string to the result array. If at all, if it doesn't end with 0 and its length is less than the string length, that means basically we just put the decimal point at the first position, the first position. So if this is a number, right, let's say if this is a number, then we are going to insert it a 0.001. So that is what this code is, right? And if at all it doesn't end with 0, this is the final thing. That means it is a valid number which is not ending with 0. Then we are going to divide that number and divide the number by 10 and keep adding that double number into the result. So this will have final answer, right? So basically, once we get the answer, right, we will be having the coordinates for a given part of the string. So once we obtain the coordinates for two parts, then we will format that and return the result. Hope you like the solution. If you understood the video and liked the solution, please subscribe to my channel and share among your friends. Also, please don't forget to click the bell icon so that you get all the updates for my future videos to your mobile devices or to your email as notification. If you are looking for a one-on-one coaching session or mock interview or interview guidance, career coaching, any of that sort, right, please leave your email in the comment section below. I will get back to you for those kind of sessions. Thanks for watching. I will be back with another video very soon. Till then, bye.